Salvē, Nike, and welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at John chapter 5, verses 6 through 7. We are in a new area, so Phrygius Maximus Calamitus is no longer with us, nor will likely ever be with us. But instead, we get a bouncy camera whenever I write on the table, and also a bit of an echo. Sorry about that. There's nothing I can do to raise the camera, to stabilize the camera, and all. So what the plan is right now is I'm going to explain the parsing, explain the translation, and then cut away while I write everything down and the camera bounces all over the place, and then return. But first, last time in John chapter 5. And here is the rubric, which doesn't actually fit in the screen. Let's go. Hunc cum videset Jesus jacentem et cognovisset quia multum iam tempus habet. Dicit ei vis sanus fieri? Respondit ei languidus. Domine, hominem non habeo, ut cum turbata fuerit aqua mittat me in pisceneam, dum venio enam ego, alias ante me descendit. And there we have that. Hunc is a demonstrative from hic, haec, hoc. So we've got the accusative singular masculine form. Cum with videset is a cum clause. Videset with that isse we know is the pluperfect active subjunctive form with Jesus as our subject. So cum is probably telling us the circumstances or the time when Jesus had seen this. Jacentem in tem, there we know is the present active participle, em accusative being the object of videset. This is from jakeo, and an unsayable second conjugation verb. New clause right here with et cognovisset. It's going to be the same form as videset right there. Quia, in this case, introducing the entire phrase, which is governed as the object of cognovisset. Multum, right there, accusative singular going with tempus, temporis. It's a neuter noun. Object of habet, a verb we've seen enough times that I don't think I need to parse it. And then dicit, another word we don't need to parse, returning to the main clause with Jesus as our subject. A, dative singular masculine, indirect object of dicit. And then what Jesus says in vis, which I'll get to after I write everything down. Okay. So I forgot to mention what habet is doing with multum tempus. Multum tempus is just telling us the duration of time there. So I should probably write that down, as I probably should have written down in the Greek, but forgot to. But what habet is owning is a state of existence, which we've seen before, speaking about his health. It's assumed that he has had sickness much time already because of the context previous. So they didn't. The translators of the Vulgate and the original writer John in the Greek didn't need to include the word again because it would have been understood based on the colloquialism with habeo, the verb. But moving on, what Jesus says, we have vis. This comes from volo, vele, volui, one of our unusual words. The is a second person singular present active indicative. Sanas is just a nominative singular adjective. Be whole, be well, not to be sane, as I think I already mentioned the last time we ran into this word. And then fieri is from fio fieri. It is another unusual word acting as the past form of faceo, facere, feci, factum. When we want to talk about something becoming in the passive, the Latin speaker will switch to feel. So this is a present irregular infinitive. Really weird. Moving on, Jesus ends speaking off right there, and we get to respondit and a terms that we don't need to translate. In the Greek, respondit corresponds to apokrithe, which is a aorist. So respondit here is a passive, past tense, perfect tense. Languidus, nominative singular masculine with that us right there, and this one means the weak one, the feeble one, or the sick one. And write that and return. All right. Our next word, domine, we have that either of the vocative singular masculine, which, come to think of it, I don't think I put that parsing in the Greek. Several things missed. Homonym, em, accusative singular, non habeo, first person singular, don't need to parse that owning homonym as the object. Ut here is introducing a result clause. I have a person so that cum turbata fuerit, cum with fuerit, turbata a passist, paraphrastic form, erit off of the perfect stem, could be perfect subjunctive or it could be future perfect indicative. I think since we've got a cum here, we've got to have a perfect passive subjunctive. And then aqua, our a there is our subject, turbata modifying it, fuerit, modifying it in the verb. So feminine singular nominative. Mitat at right there, this is from mitto mittere, a third conjugation, so the a tells us this is subjunctive. We have cum making fuerit subjunctive, but mitat as a potentiality needs to also be subjunctive. Me, accusative singular object of mitat. In prepositional phrase, piscinam, we've seen before as the pool, feminine with that a right there. And I'm going to pause before going on and write all that down. Lord, I do not have a man, so that when the water has been, because I think we're talking about more of a reality since the Greek had indicative for this verb. When the water has been moved, he might send me, or he may send me, because of the present tense, into the pool. All right, and then doom means while, weneo, first person singular form, don't need to parse it. Enim is all the way over here. It has a post-positive word, and it can't appear as the first one. Doom needs to appear as the first one, and it's awkward to put them right next to each other. Doom, enim, weneo, no. So instead, it's pushed back even further to avoid the, I don't know if this would be a faux pas in Latin, maybe, but to avoid putting them too close to each other. Ego, we have emphasis right here, nominative singular masculine, nominative singular masculine again, but we have a different clause. Ante me, ante plus the, I wanted to say accusative, but it's hard to tell with me, and I don't remember properly. But accusative, I'm going to go with that. Descendit, descendo, descendere. This could either be a present or a perfect tense. In our Greek, we have katabaine, which is a present form, so then we should also treat descendit as a present form. While I myself am coming to go into the water, pulling himself along, another person before me descends. So it appears that he has seen this happen beforehand, which is why the Greek treats, treats turbata fuerit as an indicative. And the only reason I think that the Latin is treating it as a subjunctive is because it's part of a cum clause. It's speaking about a specific time. It's not making it unreal. It's just telling us that it happens from time to time. So I'll join you again momentarily. So taking a look at this in its own context. This lying down man, when Jesus had seen, and had known that already much time he had been sick, says to him, "Do you want to become well?" Feeble man answered him, "Lord, man I do not have, so that when water has been moved, he may send me into pool. For while I myself come, another before me descends." And there we have it. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope taking a look at this has been helpful for you, and I hope that you have a very good day. Ole.